Legend of Total War here, and today we've got a Saving a Disaster battle playing as the Ice Court, going up against Crooked Moon, where they are bringing an Arachnarok Spider Doomstack. They've got loads of the Flinger variants, all of which are able to stalk, so they're going to be hard to spot. And we've got an army here that is okay in normal circumstances, but against a Doomstack like this, it's not very well equipped for handling it. So if we just have a standard defensive position, there is no way in hell it's going to be able to hold out against this, especially on the hardest battle difficulty. They've also lightning striked us, so we're going to lose 5 extra leadership, but it will mean that their forces will be tired. Let's jump in here and see what we can do and read out the email. So he says, "Hey Legend, I'm steamrolling through the map as Katarin, and the only threat now is the Greenskin post-endgame crisis, and lo and behold I got Doomstacked. They're coming at me with a bunch of Arachnarok spiders and I just can't seem to crack it, even if I got seemingly a great army. Tried to focus shoot one at a time, but they get into my ambushes and wreck them. Really would appreciate some help." Well, first thing, I gotta correct you. There is nothing great about your army. It is just a standard sort of mid-ish tier army. You've got some late game units in there, but this is not fantastic. So, you know, as far as Kislevite armies go, you can make way stronger armies than this. So, calling it great, I'm not accepting that. But whatever, if you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. Here's the problem: the Tsar Guard can't really do any damage to the enemy forces, and what we need is damage dealing. And don't just sit there getting bombed by their artillery. So what we want to try to do is get them to come at us into the forest and lure them into traps. Now we really shouldn't have the Akshina ambushes and the Tsar Guard fighting right next to each other. The way I think we should handle it is put them over here, and I'll use this hero here, because it's the fastest one we got, to try to lure one Arachnarok Spider over here at a time to just get shot to shit by the Akshina ambushes. Problem is though, we have to stay fairly close to the Arachnarok Spider in order to bloody see it. Otherwise we just don't know if it's even going towards us. The little Grom is probably not going to be of a huge amount of value. I can't adequately protect it, and bringing it over here isn't going to provide any value whatsoever, so I'll try to shoot at the beginning. Maybe if we can knock out the enemy general, that'll be good. I'm also going to have the cavalry hide in the forest. The Warbear Riders are great. If we had a full stack of Warbear Riders, this wouldn't be a problem. But that's 4 of them there is not enough to take out all of the enemy Arachnarok Spiders, especially considering these look like fresh recruits. This guy's a low-level general, so these aren't particularly boosted, so they're not going to be like Boris's special Warbear Riders. Alright, so let's get a control group or 2 going. Yep. And you've got an incarnate elemental of beasts, which I don't really think serves any purpose whatsoever in this battle, but you know, do what we can. Alright, so straight away put them in there and move them over to here. No, not the Warbear Riders. Put them over there. Move them over here. I want to try to set up a trap. Alright, now, as for the little Grom, anything it can take out is ideal. Just anything. So, taking out some snorting pump wagons, great, if it hits. Which it didn't. Actually, I reckon... Oh no, it's out of range. Could go for the enemy general there. But those ones on wyverns can be hard to hit. Then again, it's not moving. Plus, this one's coming straight for us. This guy's a spellcaster, and even though he's a reasonably good melee combatant, probably will hang back a little bit. Okay. Yep, they're shooting at us. Okay, good. I just wanted to get their attention. Now we move back over here. Man, one shot did that much damage. And hopefully they remember where we are, because I'm trying to lure them over here. So far, that's not... Okay, we've got the attention of a couple Arachnarok Spiders. I put them into control group 4. Don't put them on fire at will. Just move back a little bit more. Good. These are just 2 regular Arachnarok Spiders. Yeah, I wouldn't think they'll be sending the Flinger in just yet. But they're only going to send in what they feel like is going to be an appropriate amount of force to beat this. So, not too much, not too little. Because they don't know that we've got our forces here. And that's what we're counting on here. And I imagine that if you just had these guys standing behind your Tsar Guard, then that wasn't really going to provide much value. Alright, fire at will. And taking out an Arachnarok Spider cheaply like this, that's really good. Now, of course, it reveals our action ambushes, but the enemy will forget about them. And now we just lure another one over here. So I think that's how we effectively use these units. Good. That traded really nicely. So that's going well there. Okay. Okay, another one. Move. Yeah, the problem is... come on, be a bit more responsive. Can't see him until the bloody last moment, and then they poison me, making it hard to get away. But, you know, it's another Arachnarok Spider. Bringing it over here. At least we can heal a little bit. Okay, we're getting shot at a little bit. Let's move back there. Don't get too far away from it. But yeah, if we could just bring them in one at a time over here, that can work out pretty well. They brought another one over here, and it's one of the flingers. Unfortunately, that's probably going to do a lot of damage to us. No point trying to dodge it. Still, they're not bringing a hell of a lot over here. Just one isn't so bad. And that was the whole point, just to try to separate their forces. Come on, one more volley. Okay, just stop. Okay, cool. Alright, they should go back into stalking in a moment. And let's move... Yep, there we go, they're stalking again. Let's move closer to this one. Hopefully the other ones are elsewhere as well. You just keep this one going. I have no idea if they're sending anyone over this way. Maybe you just go and have a quick check. Because, yeah, if there's a whole bunch of them over here, and we were out of range here, but if we go in closer, then we'll be in range. It might be best if we actually don't do that. So we've taken out 2 Arachnarok Spiders. Didn't they have 5 regular ones? So they're somewhere. That need to be dealt with. Alright, we've got Mangler Squigs coming in over here. And this general. If we can take him out with the action ambushes, that'd be amazing. So far, I'm pretty happy with what they've done. Because, yeah, we do actually have 1 additional unit advantage over the enemy. Plus, they're quite tired. Get those Mangler Squigs over here. Oh, and there's a Flinger. Bring it in. But like I said, we don't know where the other ones are, so we don't want to move the action ambushes into range of them, and then just get obliterated by their bombardments. That would not be ideal. Okay, they're within range. Let's get rid of them, but unfortunately we'll probably get shot by the bombardments. At least a little bit. But at least we'll get rid of these Mangler Squigs. Spells on us. Oh, there's more than one. Actually, there's quite a few. Okay, just stop shooting. Stop shooting. That's too many. Oh, shit. There's a lot over there. However, see how they're spreading out their forces? This is what we want to be seeing. Oh, God, yeah, you're going to die. Get the hell out of there. Alright, cavalry. Fucking go. Get rid of this. There shouldn't actually be that many of them over here then. Maybe there's none there. This one here, if you can get off the battlefield, that'd be great. The fact that you've lured this many of them over here is actually really good. But they're slowing him down a fair bit. Is he going to get away? That's the big question here. Good, so that worked. We drew them in so that we were able to close the distance way easier. So they couldn't dish out any damage to our cavalry. That's why it's so important to utilize the terrain. Okay, we don't need to blow them up. I think they've been neutralized. No, not yet. Not yet. Alright, so all the flingers are over there at the moment. Oh, hang on. God. Okay. Oh god, there's too many of them. God, well, there's way too many of them there. They're not going to trade well in this situation. Maybe I can take out some of them. But yeah, those action ambushes are fucked. I'll try to help him out as best as I can. But it's going to take some time to get over there, that's the problem. Let's get this one off the battlefield before it gets completely wiped out. Okay, at least that's one of them gone. But yeah, we're not going to win in this engagement. Having him go into melee here could at least stop him from shooting just one of them. Unfortunately, they'll fight him in melee and actually do a good job of it. The rest of them over there. Okay, they're bringing their cavalry, they're bringing the artillery over here to deal with our cavalry. But half of their army's over this way. Okay, so that should be neutralized. Yes, it is. Okay, good. Right, we can bring them out now. Good. That way, the rest of the action and ambush is able to shoot at them. We might be able to take out another one before the cavalry actually arrive. Obviously, we've got a heal here, but I want to make sure we make as good use out of it as possible. Let's bring you out as well. Don't have much winds of magic, but it's better than nothing. Charge in. And yeah, they're lagging behind, so they can't help out too much here. Should finish that one off. Okay, let's get some healing in there now. Okay, good. That one's shattered. It'd be good if it was actually killed off, though. Okay, this guy's taking way too much damage. Get him out of there. Foot of Gork isn't going to do that much damage to the cavalry. Don't worry about putting that out of the way. Okay, move in a little bit more. Still 3 more of them here to deal with. And the Warbear Riders are doing just fine. But the cavalry, they don't need to be here. It was mainly just to get rid of the enemy, what's it called? The artillery with them. Okay. This spell here is okay against single entities, but there's a bigger blob of them up this way. Okay. Good news is, Bounce of Power seems to be in our favor now. Okay, big cluster of them over this way. If we pop that down there, hopefully it will do at least some damage. But yeah, they're not focusing on the Tsar Guard now. Good, another one down. So we did, oh, fucking nothing. God. That was just absolute, like, okay, well, you know, we weren't relying on magic anyway, but, God, what a piece of shit. Alright, we'll just draw their artillery. I don't know what else they could do then. I have a suspicion, though, that units that stalk don't take damage from spells, if it's the AI. No, the spell just doesn't really do much damage to them. Alright, good, they're all finished. Good, that's a big heal for them. Action ambushes are in pretty bad shape. But it's now time to just really press the attack. These should be the last of them. Even sending in the Tsar Guard to come and help fight. Yeah, no, this spell's doing fucking nothing. Bring him in. Be careful with this one here. Don't want it to get killed. Now, the thing in the wood is anti-infantry, not anti-large, but just gotta try to pin him down as much as we can. Oh god, she's taking a lot of damage, but we'll be able to heal her in just a moment. She'll rally. She's only terrified. She's not proper routed. Akshina ambushes are getting in range to help out here. Because, yeah, the War Bear Riders on their own is not enough. So shoot at them just to pin them down so that they don't shoot back at us. Yeah, that's going okay. Good, you come back over here so that the Patriarch can heal. Yeah, we're not getting a hell of a lot of value out of the Griffin Legion, but again, by going into melee with them, they're just not able to shoot at us. Once these other units get in here, I'll pull the Griffin Legion back. Because we've taken so many Akshina ambusher casualties, they're just not inflicting as much damage as before. Okay, now we can move these cavalry out of the way. Got some cavalry over here that I think need to be dealt with. Okay, that one's nearly dead. I don't think any of these spells are going to be useful. I mean, this does reduce their armor. I don't have anything else to use the magic on. So better than nothing. So how much damage are we doing with the action ambushes? That's quite a lot, actually. And there's the army losses. Cool, we won. And I just try to run down as many of the Arachnaroks as we can. There's not much I can really do to get rid of that one. And it'll take them a very long time to replace that. Oh, what's going on there? Something's connecting and disconnecting. I'm having this problem all day today. I have no idea what it was. But yeah, that's... Alright, I'm just going to pause the recording, see if I can sort out whatever that is. Okay, so we got a Pyrrhic victory. I think 2 Arachnaroks got away. Yeah, 2 Arachnaroks got away, but their army's in pretty bad shape. And the damage on our army is pretty evenly distributed, which means that the downtime is going to be minimal. No units got wiped out, that's always the goal. And the plan actually worked out really nicely. I mean, I reckon it would have been really great if we could have had more Akshina ambushes and actually no Tsar Guard. They were not helpful at all, really, apart from just baiting them to go a certain direction, which they didn't even take the bait, really. More little Groms could have been good as well, because it actually did do a fair amount of damage. I just had to get it out because I couldn't really adequately protect it. The Griffin Legion, I never expected them to be able to do much. And the War Bear Riders, they did a decent job, but also they're large, so they take a lot of damage from them. I think the Akshina ambushers were the big winners here. They're the ones that did all the serious damage. It's just that we only had 4 of them, that's all. The Hag Witch was fucking useless, and the Patriarch was only useful in the extent that of luring the enemy forces over to the Akshina ambushes, which made him absolutely essential, plus the healing as well. Alright, well, that's the end of their turn, but there's another army over here that you gotta deal with. At least you're in friendly territory, and it looks like you got a lot of territory, so hopefully you've got some of those medicinal herbs. Okay, that seems like an easy auto resolve. Take that. Let's put the money. So what is that, a rebellion? Okay. Oh my god, another one! Jeez. Okay, well, this guy here has got Lightning Strike. We know that. But this one here probably doesn't due to that only slight sliver of blue. So the garrison here should have recovered a little bit more over the end turn. And your forces, they haven't fully recovered. I guess what you could do is stand out here in ambush stance, or maybe stand over behind the settlement in ambush stance. That could work. Plus, you've got a lot of experience now. You've got 7 levels up on all that. So, well, there wasn't any level 5 in the battle. Or was it level 3? Whatever. Yeah, making him personally stronger is probably not the right way to go about it. I would go creatures of the land to really buff up these ones, or go with firing drills to get the action ambushes to be a little bit better. But it's entirely up to you. You've got plenty of levels up there to distribute. But yeah, you've still got this one over here to do it. I don't really recommend going and attacking this head on. If anything, recruiting another army here and getting whatever regiments renown available to just buff up the situation, because if both of these forces attack and they don't lightning strike, that is going to be quite dicey. But again, this one here doesn't have lightning strike, and that's just so many fucking Arachnarok spires. It's bloody ridiculous. Anyway, guys, that's the end of this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.